Hey y'all, how you doing? I hope everybody is doing fantastic. Hope everybody's staying well. Getting on with life, which we all need to do. It's your boy Smitty here. Hey, we're continuing with our 4L60E build. And today we're breaking down components. I like to say it's called staging. But what I like to do is I like to build the components like individual deals. Then you just put everything together, and that's how it works. Everybody can do things different, so I mean, it is what it is. But I'll show you some basic things and some seal designations. So if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Turn on the notification bell so you get all the latest updates. And comment and share with your friends. I really appreciate it. The more we can get shared, the better off it'll be. So that being said, please enjoy today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow. Alright y'all, I had to turn the fan on, so if you hear that in the background, I'm sorry. But so here's about everything that goes in it. What we're going to do is we're going to separate it all into different sections, and that way it'll make sense. And we got to put a couple things together. I'm going to set you on the tripod and we'll get at that, but it'll be easier to do it that way. So hang on. Okay, we'll try to do this without stumbling over the tripod here. First things first, let's get the transgel out of the way. Already got the reverse input housing pretty much set up. Here's your return spring, your piston. The snap ring is in our tub. So we basically need the clutches. So laid out here in front are all the clutches. These are our upgrade kit. As you can tell, they're thin. This is for a 4L70 or an M32 transmission. And they came in like the Yukon Denali's with a 6-liter behind them. They just added more clutches to it. So this is our 3/4 clutch pack. Zip tie out of there. These are forward clutches. These are Borg Warners. That's what the factory uses. This is the low reverse return spring. So we'll set that off to the side. These are your low reverse clutches. Your overrun clutches, there's only 2 of them. And then you have your reverse input clutches. So we're going to go ahead and put them with that. Alright, on the steels, your low reverse steels are these thin dudes, and the easiest way to tell is it's got this big gap cut out of it, and that's for the case, because these spline in the case. So you've got one that doesn't have any holes in it. That is a wave plate. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's actually a wave plate. So we'll set that off to the side just a minute. The ones with holes in it like this, these are your reverse input. So you got 4 of them. You get a spring plate, which, if you can see it, it's coned. There you go, there's a good shot of it. But it's coned, and when you build the pack, this cone goes up, and then you get your pressure plate. So put all them in there. So that one's set to go. Alright, your low reverse, I already said you got your steels. There's your spring plate. So we'll put all that there. This is your pressure plate and your low roller clutch or low sprag. And then your low reverse clutches. So there's those. All right, now the only one that's left that's got clutches is going to be your input housing, which is here. This holds three clutch backs: the overrun, the forward clutch, and the 3/4 clutch, in just that order. That's how it's stacked up in there. We'll show you that. So your overruns, now these look a lot alike, but they're not. If you look at the way the tangs are on these, get them lined up here, that's a forward steel. Okay, so you've got like 5 of those. You've got your pressure plate, and then the ones below that are your overruns. There's overrun steel. Now the overrun has a wave plate, but it's not as noticeable. But that's this dude here, and we had to replace one of the overruns because it was burnt. It had burn marks on it. So you've got overrun wave plate, steel. The friction goes there, steel, and then a friction, and there's your top plate. Okay. And then comes your forwards. Then they go on top of there, then you get your pressure plate on top of there. So we'll set them over the top of the housing. And then you got your 3/4 clutch, or 3/4 steels. You got all your steels, your top pressure plate, and what do I do with it? There it is. There's your apply plate. That one sits at the bottom. If you notice, it's got a tang on it. So it sits in the bottom of the housing, and that's what the piston actually pushes on. So we'll put them over there. You got your 2 overruns, your 5 forwards, and then your 3/4s sit on top. Set them off to the side. This is your return spring for the input housing, and you have these 5 springs, and I'll show you that when we build it. I'll show you where they go. Don't leave these out. They're there for a purpose. They found that on these 4L60Es and the later model 700s, they started using them in about 89. But what they found out is that they can actually hydraulically apply, and it'll burn the 3/4s up. All right, this is your 3/4 return, one of the spring return springs, and this is an aftermarket, stretch that. Well, this goes in the housing. There's your 3/4 piston. There's your apply for your 3/4. That piston goes in there, and then you get your other 2 housings. Those go in there too. So that's all part of that. All right. This big old piston here, that's your low reverse piston. So we'll set that there. This is your lower planetary set. Sits in this part pole assembly. and that's your upper planetary set, and that sits in this housing. And then you've got all your bearings, and I'll show you where all those go. Alright, so this is a reaction carrier, and the reason why we're replacing this dude is right here. It's got a really deep groove. So we got another one. Oh, another thing to note, this is a later model that takes a Torrington needle bearing that rides here. Early model, see, it's not machined there, it takes a thrust washer. So just bear that in mind. You'll see this in a lot of older transmissions. Okay, so we got a new reaction carrier. That's this here. It's very simple. It just sits in here like that, and then this snap ring goes in just like that, and then that's how it's put together. The bearing goes down in there, and then you get this planetary that sits in there like that. And of course, this is the infamous sun shell. This is a sonnax super shell. It's been reinforced right here, and it's got a needle bearing on either side. Got two of them. So let's get the rest of this off the bench. Put these back in here. We'll throw that box away. Okay, this goes with that. Set that off to the side, and we've got your overhaul kit. I did get a Kevlar wideband. It's made by Ray Bestis. I like the Kevlar bands much better than I do the red Altos. They seem to hold up better, especially under abuse. And we've got a bushing kit. All the bushings that you need. This is your output shaft or output housing bearing bushing. This is the rear case bushing, and then all your other little bushings are all your other little parts that we got, and we'll be replacing most of them. So alright guys and gals, that's going to be it for this video. There's just the general of what we've got, and the next one we'll start building stuff and probably go from the bottom. Well, we can't really go from the bottom up, but I like to build the components first, and I'll show you what's involved in that. So make sure and stay tuned. Come back for the next video. I don't know how many there's going to be, probably quite a few because of time. So with that being said, till next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next video. See ya. Bye.